There's no peth like Opeth. Opeth's fifth album, Blackwater Park, is widely considered to be their magnum opeth. And if you couldn't tell, I am a fan. This was the first Opeth album I ever heard. It was the album that introduced me to the band, but I gotta admit, it didn't click with me on first listen. And I think this kind of happens with every Opeth album, in the sense that, like, it takes a few listens to get into it. You know, the first time, you know it was good, but you didn't know what the hell you just listened to. With subsequent listens, as you get to know the music better, you can finally come to appreciate this is the greatest thing ever. However, I do not think Blackwater Park is a perfect album. Let me be very clear, this video will upset you. When I first heard this album, it was confusing. I never heard anything quite like it with the song structure, at least, where it just kind of went. There's very few repeating sections, although I have come to appreciate that. Masterfully done on the first track, like the Leper Affinity. This track has some of Opeth's best riffs on it. It's hard to find one that has fewer riff for riff, just incredible stuff going on. The growls are brutal, it's heavy but also intricate at the same time, and as well as the clean section is short and sweet, but it's one of Opeth's best acoustic passages, if you ask me. Not to mention the lead at the very end. Is just fantastic, and then the piano outro. It is by far one of the best opening songs of a metal album ever. And then we get into Bleak. Bleak is maybe my favorite Opeth song. This song is almost perfect. The first thing that jumps out at me is the riff. This is the riff that solidified Opeth as a band I'm gonna like. But then there's the brutal growls continuing from the Leper Affinity into this one. There's the acoustic sections. One of my favorite moments in the whole song is when the acoustic builds up and then it stops, and then it comes back in with the drums with a clean solo from Michael Akerfeld. Beautiful. And then obviously the highlight of this song has got to be the chorus with Steven Wilson and Michael Akerfeld singing together. I mean, it's one of Opeth's most iconic moments, and it's just awesome. I've seen some contention over the sounds that end it. It's kind of hard to tell if this is a guitar or a synth or both, or what effects are going on here. I personally like how it ends. I think it's a cool and kind of unexpected flourish to end the song with. I can understand why people don't like it, but also, like, it's not the end of the world. It's the last 5 seconds of an amazing 10-minute song. Then there's Harvest. Harvest, it's just a banger. There's not much to say about it. The acoustic and the bass are so well recorded. The production of Blackwater Park is an issue, which we'll get to later. It's not terrible, it's still listenable, but it's been pointed out that there are problems with it. I don't see how that can come through on Harvest, though. Considering it's largely pretty much an entirely acoustic guitar song, and the acoustics are recorded so goddamn well, it's really, really excellent. I think that the transition from the beautiful Harvest into the Drapery Falls, it sounds dubious on paper to go from acoustic into this long song that follows through all sorts of phases. It could have gone badly, but it is perfect. Something about it coming out of Harvest into this beautiful just wash of noise. It's immaculate. Drapery Falls is also one of Opeth's most revered songs, and for good reason. The verses are great, the vocals are some of Opeth's best on this one. And it's just that chord progression with the ebow and the lead that just makes you feel like you're leaving your body out of sorrow. This song is fantastic. Then we come into the second half of the album, and the second half of the album is good, but all in all, weaker than the first. These first 4 tracks are some Opeth classics, some of their best work ever. And then after this, we'll see. I actually really like Dirge for November. The acoustic intro is really good. His vocals are very soft here, but it was kind of needed at this point in the album after the somewhat lengthy and crushing experience that was the Drapery Falls. But then it goes into an even crushinger portion of the song. The octaves that slide around, like, it just feels like you're vomiting lava. It's beautiful and heavy and depressing, and I love the second half of this song. And yeah, the soft ending is a little bit drawn out, but I feel like at this point you kind of know what you're in for, so I don't really mind. It fits the story of what's going on quite well. Then there's the Funeral Portrait. which I actually really, really like this song. The first thing to talk about is the riff. I've seen people complain about the riff. I really, really like it. I think it's exactly what was needed at this point in the album. So far it's been a lot of octaves and chords and stuff going on. We needed a fucking driving riff at this point, which I know isn't really Opeth, but this is an Opeth way of doing that, and they did it very cleverly, so I really appreciate that they took this risk and put this riff at this point in the album. I've seen people say that this is a filler song, which I really don't understand. It's clear there's a lot of thought put into the structure of it. The clean section toward the end is like ascendant as well. I love this part of the song too. It's really, really good. I also forgot to mention the intro to the funeral portrait has this acoustic passage that sets the tone very, very well. It's brief, it's a little dissonant, and it captures what is about to happen, the shift that's about to occur, and it prepares you for it while also still knocking you on your ass when it actually happens. After that is Patterns in the Ivy, which is a nice acoustic song with a lead. It's an instrumental. And I can understand why they put it there. You know, a lot of metal bands do this interlude type track before the big closing number. I don't have much to say about it. It's nice, it's beautiful, no complaints. Doesn't, you know, it's not gonna change the world either. And then we get to the final track, Blackwater Park, the title track, revered by many as the greatest Opeth song ever. And I do not understand why. I've listened to it so many times. I want to like it. I really, really want to like it. It's good. It doesn't blow me away. It sounds like something off of My Arms Rehearsed, which is an album that has grown on me since I made that video about it a while ago. I admit I may have rushed that one slightly. But this song just kind of feels a little bit empty to me. There's great moments, don't get me wrong. Like when that one riff comes in, it feels so crushing. A lot of the riffs on the song are excellent. It also has a lot of mediocre riffs. It has a lot of sections that are too drawn out. I think this song is honestly 5 minutes too long. And this is the closing track of Blackwater Park. It feels a little bit lackluster. There's no clean vocals section, which I know isn't a requirement, but it would have been nice. No, I don't count the weird drawn out notes Michael sings during the bridge. I appreciate that, but that doesn't count. The clean vocals are a really big part of why I like Opeth, and the fact that this epic long song doesn't have any, it feels like something's missing, like I said. And I've listened to this song again and again, hoping that one time it will click and I'll say, oh my god, this is amazing. And it's good, but I don't understand why it's considered by so many to be the greatest song ever. If you are of the opinion that Blackwater Park is Opeth's best song, or it's even up there in the top 10, which it isn't for me personally, I know that may be sacrilege, please explain in the comments why you like it. Because I don't dislike it, but there's nothing in it for me that really puts it at such an exceptional level. Even the title drop, when he says, "The sun sets forever over Blackwater Park." It's good, it's a cool moment, but people act like this is life-changing. I don't understand why. It's cool, I like it, but why? It's a good title drop, but it doesn't blow my mind, it just kind of happens. But these are just my opinions on each song. The album as a whole is fantastic. Opeth is very much an album band in the sense that they don't really make songs to be listened to as songs. An album is a coherent work that is meant to be listened to in one go. And a lot of metal bands do this, but few do it as well as Opeth. Blackwater Park, it is a journey, and it took me some time to realize that when I first listened to it. But once I allowed myself to just experience it for what it was, I truly clicked with it, and I understood what Opeth was about. And I admit this has happened on a couple albums. The first time I listened to their newest album, Last Will and Testament, I was like, what the hell was that? I liked it, but I couldn't tell you a damn thing that happened. But now, I've listened to it many, many times, and it's one of my favorite albums, if not of Opeth, probably ever. It's the same thing that also happened with Still Life and Ghost Reveries, all of these albums that, upon first listen, you're like, that was cool, but what the fuck happened? But then, after a few more listens, it's the greatest thing ever. I don't know how Opeth does it, it's brilliant. What I like about Opeth is, for better or for worse, depending on your opinion, they create the art that they want to create, right? They wouldn't have made Heritage if they thought this is what the fans want. I'm not a huge Heritage fan. I think probably it's their worst album for me, but I'm glad it exists. I'd rather them make a Heritage album than 10 more shitty death metal records. They were inspired, and they've always been inspired, and that's what really matters. And no matter what they do going forward, the fact that we have classics like Blackwater Park to appreciate is really more than we could ever ask for, to be honest. I want to make it very clear, regardless of whatever criticisms I've had in this video, this is one of my favorite albums ever. The vinyl's even got some cool colors on it, look at that. So in the grand scheme of Opeth, this is generally in the top 3 of albums for me. Depending on how I'm feeling, maybe Still Life is ahead of it, maybe Ghost Reveries, maybe Last Will and Testament. But on any given day, Blackwater Park is the best Opeth album, and I bet many of you agree. So thank you for watching. I have been Josh Finn. I will continue to be Josh Finn. And now the sun will set temporarily on this video.